Good morning, and thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word. I'm Barry Bryson, and we're looking at Psalm 63 today. We have just two more songs of David that are connected to a historical event by the superscription. Although we're going to be looking at some poems, some songs that he wrote in the book of Samuel, and we're also going to look at Psalm 131 in the same way we looked at Psalm 123. Really expressing the heart of David. I love Psalm 63. I really just have always, from the time I discovered it as a young man, loved this song. The superscription says, a psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. We don't know when that is. David was a renegade on the run twice in his life, once as a very young man and once as a very old man. He was from Saul for many years, and then his son Absalom almost pulled off a successful coup, and David was on the run from Absalom. And we have Psalm 3, which was the first of these songs we looked at, which was written during that period of time, and this psalm connects with it at several points. We have no way of knowing which period of time this reflects, but I believe it's the later time because of the reference to the king in verse 11, because of all the references to worship. David, remember when we talked earlier about his marriage to Michal, when we talked about him receiving the Ark of the Covenant back into Jerusalem and being able to worship in the tabernacle with the Ark, and all that meant to David. I think this reflects that time period. So David, to me, when he's writing this song, is an old man, and he's on the run from his own son, who's trying to kill him. It's a straight-up love song. I mean, it is a love song. In terms of literary form, it's more like Song of Solomon than anything else in all the Bible. It's a love song of David to God. And it's a song that David sings because he yearns for God and the presence of God. Not that he thinks God has deserted him. Particularly what he misses, what he yearns for is worship, is being able to be in the tabernacle where God's presence is and to worship God. He misses that. And so he sings a song to God in the form of a song that a man would sing to a woman, that a husband would sing to his wife, that a dear friend would sing to a dear friend, someone who is missing, terribly missing someone that they feel bereft from. So let's just read this song, 11 verses, a psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So I've looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your glory and power. Because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you. So I will bless you as long as I live. In your name I will lift up my hands. My soul will be satisfied as with fat and rich food. My mouth will praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you upon my bed, and meditate on you throughout the watches of the night. For you've been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy. My soul clings to you, your right hand upholds me. But those who seek to destroy my life shall go down into the depths. They shall be given over to the power of the sword. There shall be a portion for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. All who swear by him shall exult, for the mouths of liars will be stopped. I just want to point out the connections to Psalm 3. There's the whole notion that his enemies are liars, saying the wrong thing about him. In the same way that David in the past has never indicted Saul for seeking him and putting him on the run, he does not do so to Absalom either in this instance. But he does seek vindication. And the reference to the king in verse 11 really makes me think that this is written during his time of fleeing from Absalom, not from Saul. We have again that maternal image. God as mom, God as mother, in the shadow of your wings I'll sing for joy. This time he's underneath God's wings as mother hen, but not sheltering from the storm, but feeling warm and content and singing for joy. And he's awake in the watches of the night, but not in distress, not in distress. He's thinking about God, and he's missing God, and he's missing praise. He's missing the sanctuary, verse 2. It's so intense, and it's so intimate. Nobody else, no one else in all the Old Testament thinks a relationship with God in these terms. That's why David alone, I think, has a New Testament outlook, a New Testament view of things. As we've seen a few Psalms ago in Psalm 56, I know you have a plan for me. I know I'm central to your plan, and therefore I know I have a future, to borrow a phrase from Jeremiah later on, a future and a hope. That's why he asks for grace. That's why he expects to live in the house of God forever, Psalm 23. He has a relationship with God that we can have. Jesus taught us that. But David already has a sense of that intimacy, that parent-child closeness and intimacy, so that he can just straight up write a love song to God. Can you imagine Moses writing this song, or Abraham writing this song, or anyone else but David writing this song? I hope that you read it and read it and read it again. How many of us, when we pray to God, take time to tell God how much we love him? David did. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Psalm 142.